Balin, at your service.
Balin is brother of Dwalin, elder brother of Dwalin, and they're cousins of Thorin. Welcome, Master Baggins, to the company of Thorin Oakenshield. Balin is the consigliere. He's the advisor.
Just sort of telling it as it is. You're the voice of wisdom.
We number only 13. And not 13 of our best. He's a man who is somewhat reluctant to be involved on this journey.
You don't have to do this. You have a choice.
To go and fight for these trinkets, he doesn't know whether it's a noble idea. Because, I mean, he's had the experience of fighting war. He's been tested in battle.
Balin was really important to us because he is someone we meet in the Fellowship of the Ring. Given Ken Stott's portrayal and how much the audience is going to care about Balin, that if anyone sits down and watches, starting with The Hobbit, going right through to Fellowship, it'll mean something.
Ken Stott is such an accomplished actor. He just stands out. He's one of those guys that he'll just line up, rolling, bang, and he'll just absolutely nail it.
There is one I could follow. There is one I could call king.
Dwalin and Balin are very close. They've fought alongside each other in the battle at the gates of Moria, so they've been through a lot. But in the way that somebody who knows somebody very well behaves, they just take the piss.
You look shorter and wider than last we met.
Wider, but not shorter. And twice as sharp as you are tall.
God, imagine what it was like growing up in their house.
He's a very unlikely hero. And if they're going to trust their lives to something, some person, he is the last. You only have to look at him and you'd think, not really, he's not going to be... I wouldn't put money on him getting us through this. That's basically how the dwarves feel. To invent all kinds of interesting methods of warfare. Some fun, some lethal, or some fun, but all lethal. Yes, we were made to feel very welcome. It's a very long way away, and it's also a very long time, and so it's with a little bit of some trepidation that we went, and also you're arriving the other side of the world where there is no script, which is a leap of faith, and it's something that it's bewildering to begin with, but that was dispelled really as soon as we arrived. We were made to feel, I certainly, I would say we were made to feel very welcome. And so out came this rather weird-looking effect with a bit with tenderizing bits on it. So there's a lot of strange, weird, and wonderful ways to kill people. People will shout, "Could you plug me in?" It's the first ever. It's the first ever convention. I don't normally do film. I haven't done films that have been convention films, if you know what I mean. So, when I was asked to do this, I thought, I don't know what to do, because I thought it would be a little bit like a commodity, and I thought it would be very cold, the atmosphere, but of course, I was so wrong. The opposite is, it is so... everybody's been so sweet and so adorable. I've had a great time doing it, and I can't wait for the next one.
You said you haven't been doing like convention-like movies, but what you've been doing a lot is also narrating things because of your very, very great voice.
Ah, thank you.
And I was kind of wondering whether that was the reason why you are doing all the exposition in the films.
I think it became that because, this film, there was no script when we arrived. We didn't have a script. We began with nothing, really. We had the bare skeleton of the story. which, you know, meandered along as the weeks and months went on. And the characters are there. What we see on screen is the product of actor and writer working together, not sitting down for long discussions about it. Although we did have some, not many, surprisingly few. But it evolved in the way that it did because I think they thought, "Ooh, I like that voice. That voice is very good. Let's get more of that." You know, that's how it evolved.
Were the other dwarf actors kind of happy that you had to memorize all the exposition?
No, I think they were fine. They were far too busy with, you know, doing sword fighting. You know, I, on the other hand, did a lot less because, you know, I'm not able to do as much as, you know, people like Jed Brophy, for example. You know, he's actually 87, but in fact he looks like 22. I didn't mean that, really. Jed, I didn't mean that. Sorry, Jed. I'm sorry.
We don't have to cut that. So the character and how they were portrayed that evolved from the discussions. Have you been into the Tolkien books? Have you read them before? Have you kind of felt the character?
Yes, I read The Hobbit when you should read The Hobbit, which is around about the age of 11, 10, 11.
12 in my case, but pretty close.
Pretty bad. Well, see, girls, I was going to say girls are usually older earlier. That goes against what I just said, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, really. What I read it round about the right age. My father was a teacher. He was an English teacher. So it was literature, and I didn't read Lord of the Rings. He said, "Don't read Lord of the Rings. Read The Hobbit. It's smaller. You'll be finished quite soon. You'll get everything you need from The Hobbit. Then you can move on to Dostoevsky."
From The Hobbit to Dostoevsky. Yeah. But you also...
And back again.
And back again from Dostoevsky. But your character is also one of those that kind of tie the trilogies together, like Gloin, who's in both ones, but you're also in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, but only Dad.
Dad, yes, yeah. That was a very easy part to play.
Mm-hmm. Could we look forward to a special edition, like remastered, where your ghost appears?
Don't say it, because it'll go into the ether, and Pete's probably listening in somewhere, you know.
Yeah, I'm also wondering what's he going to do next. He did the Lord of the Rings, he did the Hobbit, now he.
Who knows? What am I going to do next? I hadn't a clue. What I will be doing is a thriller 8-part series for BBC, working with alongside Jimmy Nesbitt. We'll be doing a show called Eden, a film series called Eden for the BBC.
And how's that going to be? Going back from of course, before The Hobbit, you had the career with non-convention-ish, let's put it like that, films and things, and now you're going back to the BBC.
I know, it'll be a lonely life, won't it? But when I'll be back, there'll be another convention, won't there?
Yeah, probably. I guess so. For years and years to come.
I hope to be going to the next one.
Yeah. And if nothing works out, you can do like kind of the life of Balin, King of Moria.
Yes, I can always do that. Yes.
Ken, thank you very, very much for speaking to us today.
You're very welcome.
So, if you don't mind, I'd just like to ask you a little bit, just to tell me a little bit about your history, because, you know, just so people have a better understanding of where you got into the trade.
Well, look, you know, this is my very, very, very first convention. I've never done a convention before. I've never done a film of this type. Mm-hmm. You know, I have done, you know, I worked in Hollywood films. I've done what you would call big films, but not films that will get a big following. You know, like a sort of like the Trekkies. You know, and so this is a real eye opener. I tell you, doing this, and I didn't want to because I was a bit afraid of doing them.
Why was that?
You know, because I come from a background of, I don't know, I suppose you call it small, you know, serious work. You know, not fun.
Yeah.
Not fun films. You could say this is a fun film. I mean, you've got to be. You've got to say that, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't. But there is one thing I would say at some point later on in our interview.
Yeah.
But my history for me is not to do this kind of film, and I became curious of the idea of doing a convention. I'm so pleased I did it, because coming here to Bonn is just brilliant. You know, there's this wave. I came out on stage, and this wave of love.
Yes, it was astounding.
It really is astonishing.
Well, I mentioned before the fact that I was on stage at that point and you turned around and you were completely gobsmacked. You actually, I knew you'd prepared something to say, but you couldn't say it because they wouldn't stop clapping. And I had a lump in my throat because it was so beautiful. It was an absolute classic moment.
I know.
And even the other guys were just standing there, just going, like nobody could help you out. You were stuck there in that one.
Yeah, I know. I just was amazed. It was just, I was so thrilled. And you know, and the remarkable thing also is that we all mingle together here in this big hotel, and everybody's in the bar. There's a huge crowd in the bar, but everybody's respectful. You spend a moment chatting, and you move on, and nobody bothers you. You talk to everyone, but nobody bothers you. Nobody clings on to you or asks impertinent questions.
Yeah.
That, I think, is quite astonishing. It's wonderful.
There's a huge respect. I think the people who come, they come from all over the world. They come from Russia, from
That-
England.
yes,
There's people
yes.
flown from America that I knew of.
Yeah.
Just because you were here. I mean, it was just there's so much love in the world for the part you play as Balin.
Yes, I did a girl from China today at the signing gave me a fan. And she said, "And you see this sign, that is Chinese for your character's name." She made this beautiful fan.
Just for you.
And I tell you, it was astonishing.
Have you experienced this? Anything else you've ever done?
No, you know, I've known. I used to sing in a band. I remember many years ago. I used to, and you know, we were very popular. When I say that, local, you know, but we did have a big fan base. Nothing like this, though. Nothing as nice as this. This is just, it's just like, it's a warm bath of, you know, friendship.
Yes.
It really is.
Just finally, where we're going to see you next?
Well, funnily enough, I'm going to be doing, I start work soon with somebody who you may know, a man called James Nesbitt. I'm doing a series for BBC, a thriller called Eden, and we're shooting that. He's shooting that at the moment. I'll be joining him in a few weeks' time, and over the summer we'll be doing that, filming in Brussels.
Yeah, very good. We look forward to seeing it. Ken, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Very welcome.
Enjoyed that. Thank you, mate. Really, thank you.
He said, keep it down. He's from America. Okay, now, keep it down. You gotta keep it down. You keep on, the body down.
You did it
Get the weight down. And then you've got to, as you move, you're moving as if you're moving into the floor. So we ended up like this.
Different kind of.
Look at that. But then, this is long before we got to our costumes. When the costumes arrived, and they put one layer on, and they put another, and then they put another layer on, and then of course there was a big coat to go on top of that, and a coat to go on top of the coat, and then they put you into ordinary shoes which went inside these boots, which were like boxes. And so, by then we thought, right, okay, right, we're dwarf now. It all went out of the window. All that work meant it went for nothing. But it also has to be said that they did not troll, but they trawled the whole of New Zealand for the tallest people.
Oh yeah,
they could find.
They were huge. Some of them,
some people
giants,
very tall.
Yeah, there were a couple at this convention that could have,
that would have done very well.
But there you go. So that's the inner dwarf.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Very well.